The president took a dark turn, I would say an ugly turn, when he discussed immigration tonight. He began the part of the speech about immigration with the story of two teenage girls killed by immigrant gang members. Here he goes.
My duty, and the sacred duty of every elected official in this chamber, is to defend Americans, to protect their safety, their families, their communities, and their right to the American dream. Because Americans are dreamers too.
U.S. Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal of Washington State boycotted the speech tonight. She joins us now. Congresswoman, thank you for joining us. And now that you have the distance, or I should say the freedom of distance, tell us what you thought. I know you watched it. What did you make of Trump's entry into the discussion of it? I say this all the time. This is a country of immigrants. My grandparents came here. I know how it works. You work your way up. You're lucky to be here. Okay. He started it with immigrants are criminals. That's how he started. Your thoughts?
It was so horrendous, Chris, and I say that as an immigrant myself. You know, I came to this country when I was 16 years old. Now I'm a United States Congresswoman, one of only about a dozen members of Congress. But it is so insulting to see him continually scapegoating immigrants, trying to make us the division, when in fact we know that all of our ancestors, just like you mentioned, have come here, have helped build this country. And for him to start with the MS-13 gang member and that story, and use that story in a way to say everybody is a criminal and therefore we should cut family immigration in half. Of course, he didn't say family immigration, he said chain migration. What he really means is family reunification, the cornerstone of immigration in this country for the last 50 years. It was outrageous. I'm so glad I was not there. I feel like, you know, being in this chamber and having to look at a president make that office so much less than what it should be is a travesty. It's a disgrace for us here in this country and also for our global leadership position around the world.
Well, his whole thing about the diversity lottery, too, it seems like he's trying to say, let's not have any more people come to this country unless they're scientists. My grandmother came here as a maid from Northern Ireland. My grandfather came here as a chauffeur from England. I'm telling you, that's the normal way we come here. Our grandparents are not the Dukes of Marlborough. That's the way it is, okay? It's an absurdity to set that. What do you make of it?
Well, I think what he's trying to do is end legal immigration, and the way to do that is somehow to categorize all immigrants as being drains on our economy, as criminals, as murderers, as terrorists, and that is not the reality. And so, you know, when you look at the fact that he sounds like he's being so magnanimous when he says we're going to give 1.8 million dreamers a path to citizenship, well, let me remind everybody that Donald Trump is the person that made dreamers deportable. They were not deportable until he came along and rescinded Daca. And now what he's doing is holding dreamers hostage, and the ransom payment is ending legal immigration to this country as we know it. That would cut legal immigration in half, his proposal that he put out today. So to say we're going to help the dreamers, but hey, we're going to end legal immigration, and we're going to do it by saying that these people are somehow bad for this country is insulting, it's demeaning, it's divisive, and it is what he has based his whole campaign on. In getting to the White House, it is certainly, I agree with, I think it was Terry McAuliffe that said it's what he's going to run on, it's what these elections are going to be about, but that's not who we are as a country, and I think Americans know that. I think so many Americans share your experience of knowing how their parents came here or their grandparents came here. I believe that Americans will reject that.
I think it's great what you've done in your life. I think it's such an American story. By the way, Roosevelt talked about the four freedoms. This guy's talking about the four pillars. I don't know if there are four pillars of wisdom, by the way. We'll see. It's like T.E. Lawrence. I don't think it's Lawrence of Arabia. Anyway, that's Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal of Washington State. Thanks for staying out tonight.
Thank you, Chris.
We're just getting started on this special late night edition of Hardball.